The wait is over. You were waiting, right?
Oh, God. No. Please, no.
The end is nigh. Darwin and Cat are back.
There was no better news when you were a kid than hearing, pile in the car, we're going to Six Flags, or Disney World, or Disneyland, or whatever magical ride-filled place existed near you. In this episode, we're exploring amusement parks. The good, the bad, and the long gone. Now, we're not ranking them, but we're going to relive them. The rides, the smells, the overpriced snacks, and the moments when your parents absolutely lied and said, this line moves fast. It didn't. These were places that promised joy, but sometimes delivered trauma, food poisoning, maybe a little sunburn. I grew up in New York, so I'm going to cover the East Coast parks. Meanwhile, Kat is taking the West. So if you grew up near a park or rode for hours in the family car to reach one, this episode is for you. If you didn't, this is what you missed. And honestly, you might be safer for it.
Get on the boat, weirdos.
Okay, I know I said I'd cover West Coast amusement parks, but my life started in New York. So before I was introduced to earthquakes and danger dogs, it was neighboring New Jersey that prepared me for driving through lions.
Sounds exciting. I feel like amusement parks, by the way, were even more appreciated in the Northeast because here we suffer through the winter and take full advantage of summer. So there's so many seasonal businesses here. Like amusement parks, though, they're the real specialty. But lions, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're you're so right, because we're just like these soft, spoiled little flowers in California because we can go to an amusement park any damn day of the year. But when I was a tiny kid, my parents took me and my brother to Jungle Habitat. Have you ever heard of Jungle Habitat? It is long gone. It was a free roaming wildlife park that you drove through, because who needs roller coasters when you can steer your giant Gran Torino directly into the food chain?
So this is where the lions come in. There were actual lions.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I was so young. I don't remember how much is memory versus trauma, but I do remember being in the backseat thinking, did we just misunderstand what a zoo is? Did we drive into is this backstage where the lions live or something? I was so confused because my parents had never explained anything to me. But I survived that and we moved to California. And apparently a couple of years later, my parents thought, well, you know what she needs again? More wildlife, but sunnier. So we went to this other park in Irvine, California, Lion Country Safari.
Drive through Lion Country Safari with 1,100 animals roaming free.
And it was the same concept. It was like this dusty, winding road and African wildlife all kind of moving in on our station wagon and looking at us. And there were lions just steps away, and they were glaring at our car like snacks. And, there was a giraffe, and he was towering over the roof, and a hippo sitting there just kind of looking like he was judging us. And it sounds amazing, right?
I feel like, what was it, the National, or Omaha, Nebraska, what is it, the
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Yeah, but I'd rather watch it on TV than be there in my station wagon.
Well, there I was. Lion Country Safari, it was like Jungle Habitat. In that, it didn't last long because it was a liability and insurance nightmare. Now, Darwin, you are in law school, so You can only imagine the lawsuits that were a-brewing. And this is so sad, and I'm not making a joke out of this, but a 2-year-old was mauled by a Siberian tiger after the little tot got out of his vehicle, which really should have been enough for my parents to say, maybe we'll just do mini golf next week.
Did anything close to dangerous happen to you? Because this feels like, and you're right, the lawyer part of my brain right now is like, my God.
Yeah, right? It's like firing.
Do you have a case possibly here?
I don't, and probably the statute of limitations don't last this long on trauma. No. But no, nothing really dangerous happened. Oh, but we were ambushed by a pack of baboons that jumped on the windshield, and they showed us their giant red inflatable sex butts. Okay, nerd alert, a pack of baboons is called a troop. And I don't actually know the zoological term for sex butts. But anyway, the end came, big shock, right? For Lion Country Safari. It closed in 1984 due to rising costs and declining attendance. But I went back right before it closed. And at that point, they'd been selling off all the animals. It was so sad. They were sending them to other zoos. And what was left was like a depressed ostrich with this fuck my life look on its face. And I just want to say that is an absolute relic of the past. RIP Jungle Habitat and Lion Country Safari.
Probably best that both of them are gone. No offense.
It's best for tots who wander out of their cars. Because you can wander all around the Bronx Zoo, the LA Zoo. You're going to be fine, kiddo.
Yes. They're in cages. And then,
the kids are in cages. Yes.
Yeah, they're where they should be. The ticket probably had a release of liability that probably wouldn't hold up in court either, because there's all these levels. I'm not getting into law school. All right, I'm not getting into law
but my
stuff.
dad probably looked at it and he's like, you agreed that you might get eaten by a lion. Yeah. All right.
There's a fair number of defunct amusement parks here in this area, but I don't think any of them involved eating people. Lake George, New York is really kind of knows the summer playground for this area, the Capital District, but you kind of either go to Saratoga or Lake George, right? You remember that? It was
of course.
One or the other. One of them, the one of them, it was just not, I don't know why, it wasn't fun. It was called Gaslight Village.
Gaslight Village.
The village of continuous fun.
Wait. Gaslight?
Yeah.
So the park was closed and everyone there is like, it was never open. What a name. That's
not
terrible.
That kind of gaslight. Yeah. It was open from like the late 50s to the late 80s, and it was terrible. It was like a vaudeville based theme park.
Oh God, with like puppets and like marionettes and what's the puppet you put your hand up his butt and then he talks but not really?
Ventriloquist?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
All right.
They had a lot of that. They had an opera house and silent movies.
Gaslight Village. Yesterday's fun today.
Fun for all, young or old, rain or shine.
I had a love-hate with another one, the Magic Forest. Like I used to love to go, but I had moments I didn't love it.
Okay,
and
I don't know this one. What is the Magic Forest?
It closed in, I think, around 2018 or so, and it'd been there since the 60s. So it had two main attractions. One was the diving horses, which you made a look, but...
like PETA? Like, were they involved in this? This doesn't sound safe for the horses.
Well, no, they went out to a little diving board, and they jumped into the water.
What? They know how to do that?
Apparently only at the Magic Forest. Yeah, so you would go to see the horse diving show.
The horse is like, watch my Luganus. And like, oh, wow, that was good, Ed.
It was impressed. Yeah, impressive. Mr. Ed.
That's a horse name.
But as an adult, I realized, okay, that was just weird, right? That was what we went to go see.
That is bizarre.
But a little kid, it was cool. Like the horse dove into the pool and it was like, woohoo. But the part I also loved, and this explains my weirdness a little bit, was they had hundreds of fiberglass figurines. And we're talking like giant figurines. Like most of them were pretty cool.
Life size?
No.
Oh.
Like giants. Like
huge. Giants.
So they had a whole bunch. They had one of them, somewhere I photos the little me with the little old lady who lived in a shoe. It's the big shoe with her and all of her kids there.
Yeah.
And there were some other
freeloaders.
They're just moving right in. They had everything. They had camels. They had like hamburgers with faces.
Okay, that just got weird.
No, it was cool. They had the horse of a different color and it was purple. And we're talking giant horse. They also had Paul Bunyan, which is technically a muffler man.
Wait, what? Wait, no, you got to explain that one.
Remember, and you're actually wearing your NAU shirt today. This is cool. Northern Arizona University. Do you remember our mascot there who's right on your shirt? Louie.
Yep.
So do you remember outside the Sky Dome, there was a giant fiberglass Louie?
Of course.
Okay. He was a muffler man too. So yeah, you're like, what? So muffler men were somewhat mass produced and they originally sold a muffler, like this chain of muffler stores. So their hands are shaped to hold a muffler, but people would buy them and put other things in their hands, like a giant axe. And Paul Bunyan was the one with the axe, as was Louie. And I know you're going to think, well, what else could you put in those hands? Because you made that look.
Well, no, I was just thinking of arriving on campus as a freshman and thinking that the mascot was an axe murderer.
Well, he kind of was.
I mean, we were in the forest and there was a lumberjack theme, but he looked like he might have gone on a chop spree with that thing at some point.
A little bit. But all of the Muffler Men have the same face. They might have a hat or different hair or different outfits, but they're basically the same. There were some unfortunate figures, too. There was this giant psychotic clown.
Oh.
And remember, all of these figurines are scattered under the forest canopy. So there you are walking through the woods. And then Chuckle's evil cousin is staring down you.
And you look back at your family and go, you know what? I'm just going to go alone this way. I'll meet you later. And that's when it all goes to hell.
Tonight, we shall take your soul.
And the last time you ever saw him alive.
Yep.
My mother used to always talk about Storytown growing up. Oh, I'd love to go. Let's go to Storytown. And then I realized she was calling the Great Escape, which is now Six Flags Great Escape. She always called that Storytown.
I actually remember your mom saying,
why are you calling it Storytown?
Sorry, I thought that was so cute.
It's just, so finally I understood why. Originally when it opened, when she was much younger, it was a Mother Goose themed park. And it evolved into the Great Escape.
Come to the one place that helped make the word fun. Fun! Storytown, USA!
It was one of those cutesy Mother Goose theme. And my mother doesn't really like rides, so I guess I understand why she probably liked going to Storytown.
It was just a little more tame back in the day. I've mentioned to you that I was the kid who was always car sick, right?
Yeah.
And rides were no different. So did you ever go to the Feast? You know what I'm talking about? When I was a tiny kid in New York, there was the Feast of San Gennaro, and it's an Italian.
Yeah, I've never been.
Yeah, it's an Italian-American tradition. Well, I'm 3 years old. My cousin Jackie took me to the feast. Oh, look, this year there's a Ferris wheel. Well, I mean, what could go wrong, right? So we get to the top of the Ferris wheel and we're overlooking the crowd, honoring San Gennaro, and I barfed right off the top. And it must have been a weapon by the time it hit the ground, and I probably took out an entire sausage and pepper stand.
God, Cat.
I know, right off the top. I didn't wait till it was like, oh, we're 3 feet. No, I go big or go home, I guess.
It's the sort of thing there's no warning for as it's coming out of the sky. There's no warning for that. There's
look at that.
Right, unless someone happens to be looking up and sees 3-year-old Cat. Like,
it's a bird. It's a no, Cat's on the Ferris wheel.
Right down it goes. Oh, God. I would have run out. Did you run out of there afterward? Just get out of there.
I have a vague memory of just like my cousin pulling my arm and us like hightailing it out.
Smart move.
God bless cousin Jackie.
This one, I need to play a jingle for you because you will probably remember this from your time living here because it played all the time.
Water slide world, I'm really crazy about your wild slides.
Wild, you bet.
Water slide world, the #1 in family fun.
Fun, you bet.
I'm on a baby gonna slide, slide, slide. Come on, a baby gonna glide.
Fun, you bet. Water slide world. This was like.
Yeah, it was, yeah. There was like a kid with a hot dog and slides and all that. Yep.
People loved it. It got torn down in 2022, but hands down had the best jingle.
I think water parks are something that you think is going to be more fun than it actually is. And it's just fun until you lose your shorts.
Has this happened to you?
No, actually, I have the most LA story ever about the only water park I've ever been to. Yeah. I was an extra in it was like this Matlock redo TV movie, and it took place at a water park. And I'm like, cool, I'll get paid to go to a water park. But it's really weird to go down the slide after someone's like, action, cut. Wait, I'm like right in the middle. I can't cut. I have to go all the way down. But yeah.
So growing up in California, I know it's a rite of passage to go to Disneyland and Knott's. You had to have gone, right?
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah. Disneyland was so different when I was a kid. It was the park was totally empty when it rained. And sometimes it was only $20 if you went there late in the day. And
no, wait. I got to stop you. Are you old enough to remember e-tickets? Because what are those? I've heard of them, but I don't get it.
Yes. Okay. Let's go back and open the ancient book of the elders. Back in the dark ages, Disneyland did not have one ticket price. You bought a book of ride coupons and they were labeled A through E. And that's when you hear today, oh, that was a real e-ticket ride. And you're like, oh my God, how the hell old are you? What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
That's what it means. So I'll run through the little system for you. So A tickets were the kiddie rides, but they were the real bottom of the barrel stuff. You got a ton of those. King Arthur's Carousel. You can walk through Sleeping Beauty's castle, whatever, snore.
Like the teacups that would spin?
No, that was later.
Oh, that was, okay, wow.
Yeah, no, the teacups were primo compared to this.
Okay.
So it picked up with B. It was still mild. You could go on like Flying Dumbo, some of the little like Peter Pan kind of rides. Now, C tickets were mid-tier luxury. All right. Now you've kind of arrived at a better station in life. You could go on the Jungle Cruise, Small World. It was pretty solid. And D was a much bigger step up from that. You had Autopia, which was like the race cars, Big Thunder Mountain, and the claustrophobic terror ride of my nightmares, Submarine Voyage. I'm claustrophobic. I cannot.
That sounds fun.
I know.
Not the claustrophobia, the ride. No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was okay. If you were really little, you'd go down there and you'd see like plastic plants and like whatever. But it was still a D ticket. Now, here's the thing. The D tickets were where the negotiations started with parents. Well, it was a big privilege to go to Disneyland. But it would still, we would just get the cheapest booklet, and that came with one D ticket. So it's like Sophie's Choice, except more tragic when you're 7.
That's so sad.
The saddest would be E tickets. Sad because you get one in the cheap booklet, and that's where the Holy Grail rides live. You've got Space Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion. Pick one, kiddo. Like, how do you choose? But it sounds tragic and sad, but it was actually kind of good because it kept the crowds under control, because you had a limited number of premium rides because of cheapo families like mine. You couldn't marathon Space Mountain all day, unless your parents were rich. So what happened was Disney ended up phasing it out in the 80s, and it went to the all-inclusive admission that we know today, which was, in one way it was great, but it was also the beginning of standing in line for 3 hours with strangers spreading measles.
Yeah, you can't have those poor people getting in line for fun.
No, it just more and more people were there.
I got it. I know. I'm kidding. It sounds kind of awful because I feel like my parents would have bought the same booklet if that was the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always wanted to go to Disneyland, but I never did when I lived out west. I did go to Disney World. It was the first time I'd been on a flight. Actually, it was the first time my parents had ever flown too. And my mother got car sick. I guess, is it car sick on the plane? Air sick?
Darwin's mom, I understand you. I'm here for you.
Yeah, so I'm sitting on, my parents and brother were 3 in a row, and I was 1 on the other side, and there was nobody in the other seat. So I got like 2 seats in the window, right? And I'm sitting there, and nerdy me had watched that Twilight Zone episode right before we flew down.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's out on the wing there, huh?
Yep. So all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, oh God, it's happening.
Oh no, he's out there.
Then I hear, Brian. And I look over. My mother has a barf bag that she is just, that's what the noises were, not a monster. And goes, take this.
What, she just handed you her barf bag?
She's trying to.
Oh God.
No, I am one of those people that if I smell puke, I puke.
Yeah.
She knew this.
It's a feedback loop.
Sure. No. And thankfully a flight attendant showed up and just kind of took it away.
And they have that move where they just kind of pinch, 2 fingers together so they don't have to touch all of the barf bag. Yeah.
My mother also she won't go on rides. She's scared of them. She gets sick. Obviously the airplane made her sick. So we weren't able to do, and my brother was too small to go on these rides because I was like 7th grade, 12 years old. So I took my old passport and just went. I just went off on my own. And unbeknown to me, my poor mother's having a heart attack because I'm 12. I'm old enough. I can do this. So I'm on the way back to where I kind of left them all. And I had my passport stamped everywhere. I got, yay. And a security guard comes up to me and starts talking to me. And he's an Oompa Loompa. No, and I'm not making a joke about.
We really shouldn't pick on people's sizes, Darwin.
No, it was actually an Oompa Loompa. Like, he played one in the movie.
Gotcha. Really?
For real. Yes. And he was working as a security guard at Disney. So it was, yeah.
Wow.
So he brings me back to my parents, and the mom's really pissed because I went off on my own and this and that. But I don't know. I also, the other thing was my mother, you reminded me something you mentioned the different level rides. When we were at the Magic Kingdom, my mother found a ride to go on.
Oh, yeah.
And I never, ever, and we went on it maybe 8, 9, 10, 12, literally that many times. The Small World ride, where they play that song on a loop where you're going through a slow moving boat. I never want to hear that again.
Okay. I have to tell you what happened to me on A Small World. Now, I don't hate it like a lot of people do. I actually kind of weirdly like that ride until it broke down and it got stuck. My little boat got stuck for 40 minutes and the song kept playing.
You win. You win.
You know what? It's so traumatic. I wasn't even going to bring it up today.
I thought going on it that many times was
40 minutes.
I was promised I could go on Space Mountain if I went on this damn ride all those times. But guess what? I get to Space Mountain and they had a rule, and it wasn't my height. It might have been the age or something that I had to have somebody with me.
Oh, crud, man. You were 12. I just got to say, when I was 12, I was babysitting 4-year-old triplets. Okay. And now 12-year-olds can't even go anywhere across the street, do anything. That is crazy.
So you recently went to Knott's, didn't you? You sent me a picture.
I did. Yeah.
I got this picture and it came up on my phone, but I saw the text before the picture. And all it said was, switching teams, my new girlfriend.
And I sent you a picture of me and Peppermint Patty.
And I laughed out loud.
And I waited in line to meet her. You know, I was in back of all these toddlers and Eric.
You didn't mention that part, that you waited in line to meet her.
I did wait. I had to get this because I did it for you. I wanted to send you this picture.
You'll do anything for the show. It's a great picture of you.
You know what I don't understand, Chuck? I don't understand love.
Well, thank you. Well, we're very happy. I think Lucy's pissed, though. But
I used to go to Riverside. It's near Springfield, Mass. It's now Six Flags, I think New England Great Adventure or something. Mm-hmm. And the circumstances were strange, as everything in my life is. We used to go on a band field trip, but it would be in July, which school was out.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. So,
I mean, your trumpet was off for the summer, but you had to dust it off.
But it's weird, I think, if we went July for a school thing. I used to love the old wooden roller coaster there, which and then I love this thing called the slingshot, which the name describes exactly what it was like. You got in this thing that pulled you way, way, way back and then just boom.
I'm guessing your mom skipped that one too.
She never did chaperone that trip. I can understand. And it was fun. I liked going there. There were some water slides. There was one where I was too light for it and I kind of was flying through the air as I was falling into the pool and not on the slide. So that was a little scary.
Those were the days I'd love to be too light to go on a ride. I'd be like, oh,
right? Can I get back to that blows away in the wind light?
Yeah.
So there's a girl on the trip and she was pretty unfortunate. And I can't remember if she was in my class or the grade below me, but she was super mean. And she had no friends, largely because she was mean.
Sure.
And it wasn't. And she was also one of those people that was born 40. She had giant red Sally Jessy Raphael glasses and the hair to
40,
match.
exactly.
So she spends the whole trip complaining about a stomach ache. And it's not on one side. So nobody thought appendix, right? Nothing that serious. She's probably got gas. Of course, I'm on the same bus as her. No, I totally forgot to set this up the right way. So let me go back. This is the awfulness that started. So this bus ride for a lot of teenagers on this trip, and me being one of them, was the first time we were on a bus that had a bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a big deal. So everybody had to go use the bathroom.
Of course. Oh.
And it overflowed.
That piles up quick.
Oh, and it piled up and overflowed. So there were turds literally rolling up and down the bus aisle as we went up and down hills.
Tumbleweed, turtle weeds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there were poops.
Like snowballs, but brown.
And then the air conditioning died.
Oh, dang. They were hotboxing you.
Yeah, and the windows didn't open. So we have rolling turds from the toilet with no air conditioning in the middle of July. It was ripe. It was awful. So we get on the bus to leave, and the turds had been cleaned up, but there was still no air conditioning, and there was a lingering stench. And she's complaining about this stomach ache, and then she starts puking everywhere.
Oh, no, and that sets you off, I'll bet.
It almost did. So close. Oh, Kat, you have no idea.
Oh, that was a squeaker.
They had taped the bathroom door shut, so she couldn't go in there.
There's like police tape.
323 to 584.
Do not cross this line. It's very dangerous.
She's puking all over the place. Then she passes out in the puke. She's like, poof. But
this was the Sally Jesse Raphael girl.
Yes. But she'd been so nasty to all of us always. We were just kind of like, eh. So the driver pulls over and to call an ambulance. And there's no cell phones then, but there's these little phones along the road.
The call boxes, right?
Yeah. So he has to pull over one to call an ambulance because she's out. And they're yelling at us. We're getting off the bus because it smells like shit, puke, and there's Sally, Big Red. I'm going to call her Big Red, not Sally.
Okay.
Face down. So we all get off the bus and we're just like stepping over with our shirts over our face. And we're all standing in the grass on the side of the Mass Pike. And the trooper wasn't impressed. There's 50 teenagers next to the interstate until he got on the bus and smelled. And I remember the trooper saying to the driver, "Oh my God." And he goes, "Well, on the way here." And the driver's explaining what happened on the way there. And the trooper's like, "You didn't call for another bus?"
Well, duh.
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
What?
And the
never came up.
They deserve to suffer. And this trooper says, "You're suffering too. You're driving it." And then all of us are like, "And there's no air conditioning." And the trooper just looked at us all and he felt a lot of sympathy. So he let us stay outside. So come to find out, Freak Show had a Freak Show appendix that had grown and wrapped around her like colon across her stomach. So it was appendicitis.
I went traveling.
She survived. So it was all good. Ruined the trip, but survived. Oh. So yeah, that was, there's a lot of puking in this episode I just thought of.
Well, makes sense today. I'm feeling a little under the weather, Darwin. I don't know how much this show helped.
Text me beforehand. I'm a little hungover, Darwin.
I was just going to say green around the goes. Well, it was, I was going to say 4th of July. I'm so fried. Valentine's Day last night.
Are you still a little drunk? Like, are you
No. I wasn't even that drunk last night. It just didn't agree with me. What's happening to me?
Well, look on the bright side. At least we aren't playing any It's a Small World after all.
Hey, thanks for finding Darwin and Cat Pop Culture Garbage Barge. If you like what you hear, please follow, tell a friend, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps keep this barge afloat. And I can't say it enough. Every week, we truly, really appreciate you.
Get on the boat and relive the pain. Helmet hair is rising like a hurricane. My cat's my best friend, and so is my bike. I'm chasing radio signals for any signs of life. Pop culture garbage barge, growing up weird made us who we are. Pop culture garbage barge, get on the boat, dork, and bring your emotional scars. Darwin and Cat on a garbage barge.